The Porpoise Prince, a tale of ocean's guardian. Every word in this narrative began with the sprightly young Prince Emory, the golden-haired scion of the kingdom of Kyr. The only heir to the majestic throne of Kyr, the story of Emory's days seemed unchanging. The young prince's life was one of luxury and frivolity. Yet, the heavens had a different story to pen. In the heart of Kyr, an age-old prophecy arose from the cryptic lips of old oracle Zephyr. Zephyr, with the swirling orbs of wisdom buried in the deep crevices of cloudy eyes, whispered, "The ocean roars in turmoil. The prince must embrace the creature's form to understand the voice of the ocean." So cryptic were Zephyr's words that the members of Kyr dismissed them as the ramblings of old age. Upon the full moon of Emory's 18th summer, a celestial alignment of stars encrusted the sky, filling the air with a supernatural stillness. Suddenly, the ground shuddered, and a brilliant beam of sapphire light descended onto Emory, the Prince of Kyr. In an instant, the prince's form shimmered and twisted, transforming into a creature of marine magnificence, a porpoise. In the porpoise form, the journey of Emory into the vast, uncharted ocean was one of fear and wonderment. Unaccustomed to the aquatic life, the prince-turned-porpoise initially found the ocean depths daunting, and survival a monumental task. Yet, with each passing day, the resilience of Emory showed as the prince acclimatized to the underwater world, learning to navigate the swirling currents and echoing the sonorous calls of the deep sea. Slowly, Emory realized that the world beneath the waves was a kingdom in its own right, filled with creatures of all shapes, sizes, and colors. However, the vibrancy of the ocean life came with its share of perils. The prince-turned-porpoise witnessed the scars inflicted by human recklessness, discarded nets ensnaring innocent creatures, plastics littering the ocean bed, toxic spills painting a grim picture of death. In the eyes of each creature suffering, Emory saw the reflection of the kingdom of Kyr. The prince-turned-porpoise realized that the threats facing the ocean mirrored those in his kingdom. The realization prompted a determination in Emory to return to Kyr, to bring about a change, to save the kingdom, and in doing so, protect the ocean life. A transformation occurred, as sudden as the one that had plunged Emory into the ocean life. One fine morning, the prince-turned-porpoise found the former royal form returning. Emerging from the ocean as the golden-haired Prince of Kyr, Emory was greeted with cheers of jubilation from the subjects, who had long feared the young prince lost. With the wisdom gained from the ocean life, Emory knew the urgent need for change. The prince convened the royal council, delivering a passionate plea about the kingdom's practices and their detrimental effects on the ocean life. Images of tangled creatures, lifeless due to the pollutants and plastics, haunted the council room as Emory painted the picture of the ocean's suffering. In the wake of Emory's revelations, Kyr took radical steps. A series of reforms were put in place, outlawing single-use plastics, promoting sustainable fishing, deploying teams to clean the ocean and its shores, educating the citizens about the importance of ocean conservation. As the kingdom embraced the changes, Emory could see the impact of the steps. The ocean's health started to recover, reflected in the increased sightings of marine creatures and the clear, blue waters that lapped the shores of Kyr. The kingdom's actions also sparked a ripple effect, influencing neighboring kingdoms to adopt similar practices. Prince Emory's transformation into the porpoise and the subsequent return was no longer seen as a strange twist of fate but a divine intervention. People began to perceive Emory as the Prince of Porpoises, a beacon of hope and a testament to change. But Emory's journey was far from over. Driven by the desire to ensure a sustainable future, the prince embarked on a diplomatic mission to persuade other kingdoms to embrace the changes that Kyr had adopted. Emory traveled far and wide, crossing mountains, treading deserts, and sailing across oceans. The prince would sit at grand banquet tables, sharing tales of the ocean's plight, and the remarkable recovery the sea had shown when Kyr changed its ways. In every kingdom, the stories would always begin the same way. Emory would request a vessel filled with water from the local water body. Then, Emory would explain how this water was a part of a larger ecosystem, connected through invisible threads of life. The prince would speak of how the rivers that flowed into the oceans carried with them the promise of life and the peril of destruction. Emory would then tell tales of the time as a porpoise. Every tale was like a silken thread, weaving a tapestry that depicted the haunting beauty of the underwater kingdom and the threats that loomed over it. The stories held a mirror to the kingdoms, forcing them to confront the reality of their actions. With each kingdom visited, the mission of Prince Emory started to bear fruit. One by one, the kingdoms pledged to enact changes. Some kingdoms imposed stricter rules on waste disposal, while others took measures to protect their local water bodies. The changes, though varied, all contributed towards the larger cause of ocean conservation. Over time, the oceans of the world began to reflect the positive effects of the changes implemented. The sea life thrived, and the oceans regained their lost vibrancy, becoming thriving ecosystems once again.